Welcome everybody, it's Simplify Aviation. It's the last day of 2024, so I figured to end off the year, we should do a 2024 aviation recap. This is just going to have most of the important events that happened in 2024, and there's a lot to cover, so let's start. First, on January 2nd, we had a runway collision at the Haneda Airport, I think that's how you say it, in Tokyo. Japan Airlines Flight 516, operated by a A350-900, collided with a Dash 8. This was just the start of many incidents. January 5th, as everyone knows, Portland International Airport in Oregon, a Boeing 737 MAX 9 suffered an explosive decompression when a plug covering an unused exit door blew out. Everyone on board survived, but it was a 737 MAX 9 and then they all had to get grounded. The U.S. DOJ blocked the proposed $3.8 billion accusation of Spirit Airlines by JetBlue on January 16th. On January 23rd, Jetstream 32 operated as Northwestern Air Flight 738 crashed shortly after takeoff from Fort Smith Airport. 6 out of the 7 people on board. January 24th, a Russian Il-76 killed people after a reported crash. I messed up on that one, my bad. It happened near Moscow and it was carrying... You know what? Never mind. I lost that. Alright. On February 6th, an R-44 helicopter piloted by the former Chilean president Sebastián Piñera, I think that's how you say it, lost control and crashed into Lake Ranco in Chile. Everyone was killed, unfortunately. I gotta stop messing this up. Sorry, only he was killed, and the other 3 people on board survived. February 9th, a Bombardier Challenger 600, operated as Hoppa Flight 823, crashed into a vehicle on Interstate 75. This happened in Florida. On February 18th, an Air Serbia Flight 324, an Embraer E195 operated by Marathon Airlines, struck the landing lights on takeoff. February 26th, unfortunately, Canadian budget airline Lynx Air ceased operation due to its financial issues. This airline was such an amazing airline too. On March 5th, a Dash 8-300 operating as Safarilink Aviation Flight 53 from Wilson Airport, unfortunately had a mid-air collision with the Cessna 172. 172 was operated by a local flight school. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The Cessna did crash and kill 2 occupants. This one's pretty popular with the 787. On March 10th, the 787-9, operating as LATAM Airlines Flight 800, suffers an in-flight upset, injuring 50 of the 272 occupants on board the aircraft. They had to make an emergency landing at Auckland Airport. On March 31st, a Boeing 727 operated by Safe Air on a flight that was scheduled from Juba International Airport to Malakal Airport, South Sudan, undershot the runway after experiencing technical issues. This plane collided with the McDonnell Douglas MD-82 belonging to African Express Airways that crashed 2 months earlier at the same airport. All 7 occupants survived, with only 1 person injured. On May 19th, a Bell 212 helicopter carrying the Iranian president crashed near the Iranian city of Varzokhan East. I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry. There were no survivors, unfortunately. On May 21st, a Boeing 777-300ER operating as Singapore Airlines Flight 321 flying from London to Singapore encountered severe turbulence, killing 1 passenger and injuring 104. Unfortunately, on June 7th, Bill Anders, author of the iconic Earthrise photograph, crashed near the U.S.-Canada border. Anders did not survive the crash, unfortunately. On July 12th, a Superjet 100 on a ferry flight to Moscow operated whilst attempting an emergency landing. All 3 occupants on board were killed, unfortunately. On August 9th, an ATR 72 operating as Voepass Flight 2283 to Sao Paulo crashed in a residential area, killing all 58 passengers and 4 crew members on board. Now, on November 18th, Spirit Airlines files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. November 26th, a Boeing 737-400 operating as Swift Air Flight 5960 from Germany to Lithuania on behalf of DHL crashed near a house on approach to Vilnius. 1 crew member was killed. Getting to the most recent, December 22nd, a Piper PA-42 crashed shortly after takeoff at Canela Airport, Brazil, killing 10 occupants on board and injuring a further 17 on the ground. And then on December 25th, Christmas Day, unfortunately, Azerbaijan, I think that's how you say the name, Azerbaijan or something like that, Airlines Flight 8243, operated by an Ember E-190 AR, was struck by a Russian surface-to-air missile and crashed near Kazakhstan, killing 38 of the 67 occupants on board. On December 27th, a PAL Air Express Flight 2285 attacked a Dash 8-400 skidded off the runway. Unfortunately, after heavy rainfall, all passengers and crew were unharmed, thankfully. And then we have the most craziest, I don't even know, a KLM Flight 1204, operated by a Boeing 737-800, overran the runway, skidded off the runway, I should say, attempting an emergency landing after a loud noise was reported to be heard inside the aircraft. That same day, Air Canada Express Flight 2259, a Dash 8-400 operated by PAL Airlines, made a crash landing in Halifax at 9:30 p.m. Atlantic time. The plane skidded down the runway with a part of the airplane, including the wings, caught on fire. All 77 passengers and crew survived with no serious injuries reported. Okay, and now we got the most fatal one. Jeju Air Flight 2216, a Boeing 737-800, overran the runway at Muan International Airport and crashed while attempting to belly land. Out of the 181 occupants on board, 179 were killed, with 2 survivors. So far, the deadliest crash in 2024 was the Jeju Air Flight 2216. The registration was Hotel Lima 8088. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm very sorry for all the people who lost their lives in the 2024 incidents. Hopefully 2025 is a better year.